Oh, good morning. Happy Friday. Ooh, that's crazy. Anyway, and we don't pay ourselves enough attention to know how to handle our own selves, how to love ourselves properly. I don't know how I just popped up with a word. I got a word for y'all today. But man, you've been going through that. Good morning, friends. You've been going through, I don't know them. So annoying. I don't know them people. Just put my headphones on and got in the zone. And I forgot. I don't know. I barely even know what I'm feeling half the time nowadays. To trust myself and be like, you know what, Chelsea, however this ends up, I got you. I barely recognize myself half the time when I look in the mirror. My life is the healthiest version of chaos possible. God's always speaking. God's always working. God's always, oh my gosh. Oh, good morning. Happy Friday. We made it through another week. It's crazy that I really used to have that mindset. Like, I made it through another week. I used to really struggle making it to Friday. I used to count down the days, count down the hours. Like, come on, Chelsea. Just 48 more hours. Just 48 more hours and you made it through another week. Ooh, that's crazy. Anyway, good morning. Happy Friday. It's 5:20 something, so I'm much later than I normally am. But that's okay. My legs have been kind of tight from all this daggone jump roping. So I'm going to do some stretches and just have a relaxed day like I did last week. I need it. I don't know why, this phone thing keeps moving now all of a sudden, and I didn't change it. I didn't move it around or anything, so I don't know why it's doing that. Devil don't want me to be great. I wonder why, though. What do I have to do to fix it? I don't know, but it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so I sure ain't about to find out. So I went to bed early last night. I had so much on my mind. Sometimes I feel like because I have so many feelings all the time, I'm such a deep thinker, but I'm also an empath, meaning I feel so deeply for the people that I care about as well. Sometimes it just feels like I have too many emotions going on and I just feel overwhelmed. And that's what I was feeling last night. There's so many new emotions that I'm feeling, that I'm experiencing, because I'm in such a new season of my life that I've never been in before. And so sometimes I find myself just exhausted, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out how to release some of these feelings and how to take my butt to sleep. So I did. I went to bed early last night, and I woke up with this sense of gratitude at how much I'm able to do hard things nowadays. And so I figured we'd talk about that, because I was never able to do hard things. Or I felt like I wasn't. I believe we were all created to do hard things. We were all created to love, and created with the spirit of self-discipline, and created with God within us, so we have peace, if that makes sense. So we were created to do hard things, but somewhere along the way I lost that, and I wasn't able to do hard things, and I thought about it a lot. So I'm going to tell you guys why I feel like I wasn't able to do that. So when I was thinking about this, doing hard things, doing things that are scary, doing things that are new, doing things that are uncomfortable, I immediately thought about haunted houses, which you will not catch me at no haunted house nowadays. But I used to go with the guy that I was seeing a while back. We had a bunch of mutual friends, and so we would all get into groups and go to these haunted houses at Kings Island or whatever, the amusement park. And I've never been a fan of being scared. I don't like scary movies. I don't like haunted things. I don't like Halloween. I don't like all that stuff. And so I was already uncomfortable going in, but because I wanted to do what he wanted to do, I was like, okay, let's go. But I didn't feel safe in his presence. And I'm not trying to down talk anybody, so if you guys know who I'm talking about, I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be weird. But I did not feel safe and comfortable in his presence. And because of that, it made the haunted house more scary. It made it feel like I wasn't able to complete that. I was not able to make it to the end. And it was such a different feeling when I went with my best friend, because me and my best friends have gone before. They have like this haunted Halloween thing of course, in October at the amusement park. And I've been with my best friends before, and it didn't hit the same when I was with that other person. And it made me think of how often and how long I've been doing life as a stranger to myself, and then wondering why I can't do hard things, wondering why all of these hard things feel like it's the end of the world, or they're so hard to make it through. But you've never been your best friend long enough to even go through the haunted house with you as your best friend, if that makes sense. Because it really makes picture perfect sense to me. I was so scared and so unable to do all of these hard things because I was going through life with a stranger. Myself. I was going through life living as a stranger to my own being. I had no idea who I was. I couldn't protect me. I couldn't stand up for me. I couldn't keep me safe. Half the time I didn't even care about my own well-being, but then I sat and wondered why life was so difficult, why I couldn't make it through all these hard things. Baby, you cannot make it through all of these hard things because you're a stranger to you, because you haven't protected yourself in years, if ever, because you're in an unsafe environment. And I'm telling you, I don't know how. I just popped up with a word. I got a word for y'all today. But man, life hits so different. That haunted house hits so different when you learn to become your own best friend, when you are your protector. I know for a fact now that I can do all the hard things that life pops up with. I can make it through anything because I'm my own best friend, because I'm my own safe space. And yes, it's nice to have all these other people that are safe spaces for me as well, but it doesn't make a difference. I'm not relying on anybody to show up for me to make it through. I'm not relying on anybody to come to the haunted house with me for me to make it to the end, because I have me. I have a safe space within my own self. I have a home within my own self. I trust me. I love me. I hold myself accountable. I show up for me. I am my own best friend. I don't know where that came from, but it was so true, man. I was so scared in that haunted house. I felt like I couldn't do it because I was with the wrong individual, for one, and I didn't have me. I didn't think that I was going to protect me. If something popped up, I'd be like, ah! I would start freaking out because I didn't know how to handle myself. Be for real. Be for real. A lot of times these roadblocks and these hardships and these obstacles, they all pop up and you lose it. You freak out because you don't know you. You don't know how to handle yourself. You don't know how to protect yourself, and you dang sure don't trust yourself. And be for real, you shouldn't trust yourself because you've never once protected yourself. You've been going through that. Good morning, friends. You've been going through, I don't know them. So annoying. I don't know them people. You've been going through this haunted house as a complete stranger to your own self. You don't protect yourself. You don't stand up for yourself. You don't even check in with yourself half the time. So now you're going through this whole maze, this whole terrifying situation, not even knowing what you're feeling in the moment. So you don't know what to give to yourself. You don't know how to handle yourself. You don't know how to cheer yourself up. You don't know how to speak life into yourself. You don't know you. And that's why I felt so much more scared in that haunted house. I wasn't as scared going through that haunted house with my best friends because they knew me. They knew when I had this certain look on my face, I had had enough. They knew my limits. They knew my wants. They knew my needs. They knew my desires. They protected me. They loved me out loud. They knew when to grab my hand. They knew when to hug me. They knew me. And the person that I was seeing at the time straight up didn't. He didn't know when I was petrified. He didn't even pay me no attention. Be for real. He didn't. And we don't. We don't pay ourselves enough attention to know how to handle our own selves, how to love ourselves properly. You're going through the obstacles alone with nobody there. You have not built a home within yourself. You have not made yourself your own safe space. And now you're terrified. Good morning, though. I definitely did not take a rest day. I don't even really know what happened. I just put my headphones on and got in the zone, and I forgot. I forgot to take a rest day. But actually, it felt really good. My legs started feeling good as soon as I started jumping. Well, I did a lot of stretches too, but now I left the gym kind of late, and so there's all these people out here. Woo! I had the same song on repeat per usual. This artist, she actually just got a divorce recently, and so she put out these new songs, this new album, And so she's talking about how she knows she needs to open up her heart to love again, but she's scared of looking stupid. And of course, that one lyric alone, I was like, oh yeah, same. I have such a fear of everything. I'm so scared all the time, which is funny that came full circle like that, because on the way to the gym, I was talking about how I can do hard things, right? And I had to really train myself to be able to do that, to become my own best friend so that I can hold my own hand through all the hard times. And when I say hard times, I don't just mean negative, right? Like, we think hard times and we're like, oh yeah, all these obstacles, all these really difficult times, all these negative things. I'm talking about positive things too. Most of us have been through so many hard things that we're almost used to overcoming the hard times. In the season that I'm in now, it's been difficult to overcome all the new positive things. It's like, because I've never been in those seasons before, if that even makes sense. Like, it's out of my comfort zone because there are things that I've never experienced. So even when the feelings that I'm feeling are positive feelings, it still comes with this whole process of, okay, I have to figure out, what is this feeling even? Like, why am I feeling this way? And how do I overcome this, right? New feelings are really hard for me because I have gotten such a hold on my emotions, because I've learned what emotions I'm feeling. That way I can handle myself accordingly. And so when I'm in seasons where I'm dealing with all of these new emotions, I don't know how to handle myself. I don't know. I barely even know what I'm feeling at the time nowadays. Like, so for me lately, it's really just been being able to be my own best friend and hold my hand through all of the unknown feelings, through all of the seasons where I don't quite know exactly what's going on, nor do I know what the outcome's going to be, right? And being able to trust myself and be like, you know what, Chelsea, however this ends up, I got you. Like, no matter what happens, whether it turns out to look like how you want it to look, or whether it turns into like this really horrible, hard, negative thing to get through, no matter what the outcome is, you got you. Like, I'm right here, right? Like, I'm gonna hold your hand and we're gonna get through this haunted house together. You have to get into your own lane. Like, that was crazy. That was just wild. Good morning to you and your little puppy. Lately, I feel like God's been having me in this stretch season to where it's like, come out of your comfort zone, this new comfort zone that you just built for yourself, for real, you know, because life is so different. I barely recognize myself half the time when I look in the mirror. I'm like, I'm such a different, evolved, healthier individual than I've always been. And so I've started building a comfort zone in the new version of me. And now I feel like I'm in this season where God's like, okay, now push yourself. Now let's challenge yourself to do more. Go be more. Like, go try more. Go expand more. And it's been very exciting, but obviously it comes with a lot of feelings that I've never felt before. So it's been scary at the same time. And knowing when to go to God and be like, listen, this is hard. I don't really know exactly what this feeling is. Can you help me? Like, help. When to ask for advice from other people, and when to just sit with myself and sit with God and handle it on my own. So yeah, it's been a lot, honestly. I feel like this is why I can always sit here and talk about things all the time. Somebody asked me recently how I always have topics to talk about, and I'm like, because my life is chaos. My life is the healthiest version of chaos possible. It's like I need a TV show at this point. It's always something. It's like God has me in so many different seasons. In this expansion season, there's always something. God's always, oh my gosh, God's always up to something. God's always speaking. God's always working. God's always, oh my gosh. Whew. Good morning, though. Happy Friday. If you are in a season where you feel like you barely made it through another week and you've been counting down the hours till Friday, then congratulations. You made it, and I'm proud of you, and I'm happy that you pulled through and that you're still here. And I have been in a season like that myself, so don't feel bad. The fact that you made it through to another Friday just goes to show that God's not done with you yet. That God's still working in you, on you, through you. So take a deep breath, and I will catch you back next Friday, because we're going to make it through another one. All right, go be great.